So this video is going to show you some unknown tips and tricks that we don't often cover, and it's aimed for intermediates. So if you've got a small business, you're into local SEO, you want inquiries to your business, and you know a little bit about Google My Business or Google Maps, maybe you've dabbled with a bit of search engine optimization in the past, this video is going to help you because it's going to just assume you've got some of the basics in place already, you've already got a website, you're already perhaps logged into Google My Business and done a couple of things before, but these little tips, these unknown tricks are going to be really useful.
Tip is to make sure you get some important email updates. Now these are really powerful suggestions that come through to you direct from Google. So let me just show you here. We've got about a result of a post or views, but if we just go through some of these, you'll see that it gives you updates on what you've done, what you've added, congratulations regarding some of the images, but again just tells you how the views went. Gives you a bit more information about a message you've had, reviews being given. It gives you updates on profiles when they've been updated, and again some views on some of the images you've tried and seeing whether they work or not. And it just gives you an overall view as to what's really going on when it comes to your Google My Business settings. Now it could be that a lot of these are not being originally logged in, or you've made some changes and it's not gone ahead. And this just keeps you fully updated on an email response mechanism. So whether it's important updates, whether it's alerts, whether it's questions and answers, bookings, quotes, photos, insights, occasional updates on posts that Google want you to know about, all these things come through to your inbox. But most people don't have this enabled. So I'm going to show you how you can get it enabled. So you go into your Google My Business, any one of your accounts that you manage is fine, and then you just skip the left-hand menu down to the left-hand side at the bottom there where it says Settings, and you click on Settings, and this just takes you through then to your email notification area, and here you'll see things like customer messages, customer reviews, questions and answers. Now I've ticked all of these, you don't have to tick them all, but my question to you would be, why would you not want to get advice direct from Google? So those emails I just showed you, they were all enabled and they came from here. So I got tips on photos. I found out insights on what actually was doing well in the ranking. I did get reminders when there were things needed to be updated. And so just by clicking this, I was able to get all that information direct to my inbox. So if you find you're forgetting to update your Google My Business, if you're not sure how well you're doing at the moment, let Google send that information direct to your inbox. That's my first tip. So for this one, am I a service or am I a shop? Let's just imagine that I'm offering service of marketing consultancy, helping people with Google My Business. So I'm just going to make this up. I just do a right click on the area where I'm going to be based, which is in Bournemouth, and I'm going to add my business. And now I need to just have a business name. So let's just say, for example, that my business name is Google My Business Bournemouth, or Google My Bournemouth Business. Business category, well, I'm going to be marketing. So that, if I put in marketing, let's see what comes up. So marketing agency consultant. Okay, marketing consultant next. And I'm just going to be operating without a shop. So I'm going to do the area. So do you want to add a location? Well, no, people can't visit me. And this is where most people have gone wrong in the past. Google's now put this right. Do you want to add a location customers can visit, like a store or office? Well, I'm going to be visiting my clients at their shops. So the answer is no. There's no one can visit me. And you may feel this is then going to disregard the fact I can work from a particular place on a map, but I'll show you how that works in a moment. So I'll click no. And now it wants to know, well, where do I operate then? Where do you serve your customers? And I'm just serving in the Bournemouth area. And so Bournemouth comes up. And actually I notice you can also do more than one. So that particularly is my area. So there's a couple of areas there. Click next. And just did you notice there how, if we just go back, you notice how now rather than having one particular point on a map, we've now got this area instead. And that's the difference. So you have to think, are you a business that has a shop front where customers visit you? Are you covering an area? So people like window cleaners, they probably are an area, they're a service. Plumbers are a service. They generally don't have a shop that you go to. So some will have a shop, but obviously you have to decide, you know your business. So let's click next. And this is the bit where people get confused because it now wants you to enter your mailing address to verify. And the reason it does this is not to put it on the map. but it's so that Google can contact you to make sure that you are a company. So this isn't about putting information up, it's just about them contacting you and verifying you. I'm going to click verify later for now. And you can advertise, of course, which is where Google makes their money. And it's almost ready. And there you go, I've set up a Google My Business. So what's the advantages and disadvantages of this? Well, here we've got a business with the address in already, it's being verified. And now if I wanted to change that from saying, well, actually, I'm not going to be open as a business, then I'd need to clear the address, and then I'd then be able to then change it to an area. So the advantage, of course, is that people can see me on a map. So when I do a search for my business, I get a knowledge panel appearing, and I also get an area on the map. If you do a service, which I did in this case, there is no location. So when you go to the address, there's no location. And that means then that when you're on a map, it means that you get your image showing. But if you notice, if I hover over, notice here that if I hover over these ones, they will show their particular area where they're based. But my particular one that I put in here has nothing coming up because it doesn't have a physical address. It's just a service or just an area. So hopefully that's made it clearer for you that if you want to be seen on Google Maps, you need to actually show your address. If you want to be seen as a service, it'll just cover the area, but it won't show you on the map as such. And so that could be a slight disadvantage at this stage. But I think Google's trying to make it so that it's not such a disadvantage as it used to be. So my third area that I wanted to share with you today, this tip is going to be really powerful because it's just understanding how you can find out a lot more information about your competitor. You can find their weaknesses, you can find their categories, you can reverse engineer what they're doing, analyze their ranking order of the categories, and look at their ratings, their description, and just understand what you can do to recreate and improve on what they're doing, even understanding how often they post and so on. Now, if I was an emergency locksmith, would I just be better off putting locksmith? Where's the competition? Which category do I choose? Is there a weakness amongst some of these? Some have got more reviews than others. Basically, it's a competitive market. How can I get the edge on what these others are doing? Well, there's an amazing tool that's free that I use and is fine. It's above board because it just looks at what's all the information that's available out there. But unlike Google, it doesn't provide it for you straight away. So it looks at categories, it looks at number of reviews. And if you spent enough time, you could get this information yourself. Now, all that information is available, but you just need to know where to find it. And this is where this tool, GMB Crush, which quite a few people now are talking about, really useful tool you can download. So you can get it from Google Chrome Store and you just download it. And so you'll see it when you're in Maps. All it is this orange button here. So I'm going to click the orange button and it will then basically open up and do some crushing. And all it's doing is getting the information that's out there. So in this case, we can see that the top 20, they very much have a 50-50 split on the main category. But also you can get here to see the ratings, reviews. So these are goals that you can set yourself for. So you might look at these, take an average maybe. You can download it on a CSV as well if you wanted to put it onto a spreadsheet. And now I'll gradually find information about how many posts they do, what the categories are. It's just getting information that's public, it's out there. But this again would take you a long time to put together if you were wanting to get this information. And there you go, it provides me now, it tells me that, so this is an example here, they've got 4.8 rating, 24 reviews, and what attributes they're using, house, door, price. So we might consider that as being something to use. This is a description, so we get an idea of their keywords. We see that they've done a couple in the last 90 days of posts, and they've done 17 in all. So that's kind of just useful information.
So hopefully you found those little tips useful and you're going to then go away and apply them. But of course, you're probably thinking, is there any more things that I can do that's going to help my business grow? And of course, there are loads of things you can do with Google My Business, lots of little secrets hidden away. So I've put together a playlist of all the videos that I think are going to help you if you've got a small amount of knowledge and you want it to grow with regards to SEO and particularly Google My Business. So head over to this playlist here and I'll see you there with my next video to help you.